Hosea chapter 7 through 14. Now you'll notice at the beginning of the Devo, onebaptist.org/devotionals, where you go to get the Devos, you'll notice at the beginning of the Devo that we do a little bit of a review from yesterday, and anybody who knows me in preaching, it's just a little bit of review, but it is a review nonetheless to make a reference of the fact, to remind us, and I hope that you did the Devo yesterday. In fact, if you didn't, stop right now, pause the Devo, pause the video, and go read yesterday's Devo. Will you do that? And then come and read today's to couple with that. But we remind you how God's man is Hosea, and God has Hosea marry a woman knowing that she's going to be unfaithful to him. But as such, she was equipping for Hosea in the fact that he could feel the message of which he preached, and the people could know that he was relating in what he said when he spoke passionately about unfaithfulness. I refer to the Devo today because we make reference of that, and we make reference of how it had to be that the people in the land, they knew who Hosea's wife is, and they knew the story. I mean, this is no small thing, how she was unfaithful to him in a major way. She was known for it, if you know what I'm saying. And so no doubt when people would see her, they would point their finger at her and perhaps talk about her sin and talk about Hosea as well, and yet certainly she was the blunt of everybody's joke, of the end of the gossip, the rumor mill, not just the rumor, but confirmed fact of what she was doing. Bottom line, she couldn't hardly take a step without drawing attention to herself, and that attention, even if her name was brought up in a private conversation, was never glowing. It was never anything that was worthy of being excited about people talking about you. Now, we would say, well, she deserved it. And yet, that's the same thing that we point out, is that God was trying to let these people see their unfaithfulness to him by seeing her unfaithfulness to God's man. And no doubt there were people in that land that would say, well, look at her, man. I can't believe she's doing that. Don't she know that that's her husband? She shouldn't be doing him that way. And don't she know she's going to be accountable for the decisions she's making and all the people she's hurting along the way? And that's what God wanted them to see that they were doing to him. And yet, practical application, the Bible tells us in the New Testament that we are the bride of Christ. If you are born again, you're the bride of Christ. And we challenge you in the Devo to look at the characteristics of these people and see if you are practicing any of the things that she was getting talked about. And yet, when I was reading it, and I was looking at this today, I was pondering to myself, as we spoke about it in the Devo, of no doubt how they pointed their finger at her, of the sin that she had and the reproach that she had, and all that is true. And then I thought about what the Lord Jesus did for us. On the cross of Calvary, he was the one who got mocked. He was the one who bore our reproach. It was him that suffered grief. It was him that it wasn't just an emotional thing or even a volume of a voice that affected him in talking. They physically laid hands on him for no sin of his own, but mine and yours. And no doubt when he was hanging on that cross and all that was going on, even when we think about all that journey when he was getting beat and put before Pilate and all the rest of that stuff, listen, all those people, don't you know, they pointed their finger. Look at him, look at him, look at him. We even know they said, crucify him, right? And yet that was mine and your reproach he bore. That was mine and your sin that he bore. God made him to be sin for us, so that we could be made righteous by him. I pray that you've received that. Glorify him today for what he's done for you.